Morning, everyone. Today we won't be wasting any of your time. I just want to analyze a few pairs for you guys and show you how the market will be moving in the next coming week. So we'll start with gold. This is the first pair that I want us to start with. Well, I know you guys are seeing what I drew here, but now remember, guys, last week we did say gold was going to sell until these areas, right? And then we did enter until this area, and then it came back. We entered again until these areas, and then it kept on playing around here. It kept on playing around. So to me, now it was kind of like, okay, now we're failing to break this trend line. Remember, we have an overall bearish trend line here, as you can see. So, but I will analyze again. I just want to show you why my chart is like this right now. I'm trying to explain. Right, and then it went down, it came back, it failed again. So to me, it was clear that it's going to come back and then go and start selling again, probably give us a double top on the trend line. But then clearly it has broken out now. So I didn't execute this trade, by the way. I did take a loss somewhere around these areas because I had another buy setup. That was something like this, I think. Oh, look at that. That's a sell setup. I had a buy setup like this somewhere around these areas, and then it took me out. But then I had already had like two buy setup like this one and this one. So took a 1% loss here, and I took what's this? This is 2% plus this one here. This is probably 2% again, or 1 point something. So that's a 3% win. So basically I took a 2% win, subtracting the 1%, so it's 3 minus 1, it's 2. So now it's clear to me that we're buying, because I also drew this area here, this zone, this resistance zone, saying that if we break this zone, then we are headed to these areas. So for the next coming week, I'll be seeing if we can enter buys or not. But then let me just break it down for you guys. Let me just analyze. We are not wasting time. It's a Sunday, guys. How is a Sunday even going? My Sunday is chilled. I'm just doing my thing. I'll start on the weekly, of course. So seeing what we have here, we have, of course, our highest high that we're going to mark like this. And we have our low. And now to me, it's clear that, okay, we might be headed to these areas, but then we might not make it now, or we might not even get to those areas. We might have maybe, let me just, now this is me forecasting, guys. I'm not saying such things might happen, but, I'm seeing something like this, something like this, because we have this area. It's kind of interesting, the market might buy until here and sell for inverted head and shoulder and continue to the upside, but that's not important. Now, I want us to focus on the most current market, which is, this will be our most current higher high, because now we have it and the market did form as resistance in a way. So now scaling down to the daily time frame, because there's nothing we can do in the hour, in the week. Since we are here now, we look at the market and say, okay, last time we do, now clearly we broken out pattern, so we've broken out. What might happen is we have this area here. This is a clean area of interest. Never even broken out. We have not broken yet. So we can put it like this. One might say we are already buying, right? We are in a buy market. We broke out of this trend, and now 90% will be going up there. But for me personally, this market is actually in the middle of nowhere. we are in the middle of nowhere considering how it's moving. Let me just scale down to the 4 hours and let me tell you why. As you can see in the 4 hours, we have this corrective movement here. So it might be that we might break in the middle of nowhere. So what I'm going to do for this coming week, personally, I'm just going to wait for the market for it to break, retest, and continue to the upside, or for it to come back down, break, and we will be moving to the downside. These are my two movements for gold. I cannot say, you know what, we'll be entering buys or we'll be entering sells, but then we can scale down to the 1 hour and see what we have. So for the 1 hour, we is it going to break impulsively, right? And we need to consider how it's moving right now towards that point. We don't just say, you know what, it's going to break impulsively. You know, we wait for it to see if it's moving impulsively or correctively. If it's moving impulsively, then chances are we'll break and impulse to some of these resistance around and come back down and retest. So the only time I'll enter buys is when the market comes back from its when the market comes back down for a retest to form support in the market. That's when I can say, you know what, I'm taking buys. But then also, as you can see, these buys, they're not even like worthy to be taken. You know, it's like 2.8, you know. So maybe I might wait for the market to like possibly create the head and shoulder that I was seeing. Or, but I'll just enter just in case the market doesn't respect the head and shoulder. If it does respect the head and shoulder, this will be my TPs anyway. So it will hit my TPs and then come back down and then I re-enter here and then go up with it again. More of something like, let me show you what I'm talking about in Gbpjpy. So with Gbpjpy, I'm still in the trades. I'm holding these trades. I've been in these trades for a while now. And honestly, I should have taken my losses while I still could, because probably tomorrow when it opens, it's going to impulse to the downside. You know, I'm seeing it forming, selling until it finds support on the trend line again. So let me tell you why I entered this market. Right? This is a simple breakdown. So the market was, let me see if I can use this reverse replay. I think the market was here. Well, I think I cannot. Oh, I think I can. Can I? Can I? But I used to, but now I don't think I can. So no, I should be able to. I can, but I used to know how to do this. How can I not even do this anymore? Oh my God, it's not even working. Okay, so the market was around these areas, right? So when it's around these areas, I'm like, okay, we have a pattern here. We have a pattern being formed here, as you can see. It broke and retested. Well, I didn't see this at the time, you know, but then what I saw was that this market, no, I'm lying. I'm lying. This is where I saw this market was. Now you see, I'm seeing new things now. This market was around these areas. these areas, right? It had hit our our right shoulder, right? This is a head and shoulder, guys, a clean one. Anyone can see this, you know, left, mid, and right. The market was around these areas before any of this shandies happening here. So it was here. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, this market has, of course, respected the head and shoulder, and it as an impulse like this. So it's most likely going to correct and come and retest here because we also have a form of a double bottom that we formed here. And you know what we say about double bottoms. When we have a double bottom, we go back and come and retest the neckline of this double bottom and then continue to the upside, right? That's basic trading terminology. So I enter I put myself my buy limit here, expecting the market to like go up when it gets there to these areas respectively or these areas, right? Now the market didn't respect my setup. It went down and I'm like, okay, maybe it's forming a double bottom in the higher time frame. In the 1 hour, I'm thinking maybe it's forming a double bottom, but it's not, right? It's playing around here. Now the reason why I'm still in these cells or still holding my losses is the weak rejections are also saying something. You know, this market doesn't have any direct direction for now. You see, we have weak rejections up and down. We have dojis right now. We have a million dojis. So me, I'm thinking maybe it might play around, it might play around, and boom, move to the upside, right? Or it might just move to the downside and hit my stop loss. This is where my stop loss is, by the way. So I'm still holding these cells. Imagine holding all these losses over the weekend. It's sad. I'm holding my buys, I mean. So this entry I entered around 2, 3 Friday, 3 p.m. So I don't know what's going to happen, honestly. So I might take an L and it's going to be sad because I'll be opening a week with a loss. Uh, or I might open a week with profits. We don't know, man. We don't know. But to me, this is a nice head and shoulder that I spotted. And, you know, drawing trend lines here, I was like, okay, this is nice. We are in a bullish trend within a bearish trend. So we might, buy until these areas here. So I don't know, guys. We will see what the market has for us. But this is a trade that I missed last week. This was the NFP week, by the way. I did miss this trade and I was sad about it. So I told myself I'm not missing this one, but look at me now, I'm in losses. So that's it for today. I'll analyze Bitcoin and Nasdaq and I'll upload also later on today. Thank you guys.